Hey guys, and welcome to your daily mobility flow. Hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend. I hope everybody did Murph, the workout. If you didn't, shame on you. If you did, bravo. If you didn't really though, next year, Murph, that's your goal. Let's start on a lunge. We're going 1 foot into the hand and we're gonna work just this quad, this hip flexor open first. So kind of sink in, add the foot, and then take some of the pressure off. We're just gonna open that bad boy up. If you feel like the inside of your hips are pretty tight, you can always roll in and get some groin here. Just kind of sinking in. It's a great combo stretch right here. Kind of 1-2 punch. Big muscles, quads, hip flexors. Rolling in and crack, hitting that groin. You need a pillow under that knee, it's no problem, just throw a pillow back there, it's all good. If the pressure on the ground is too much, or if you're doing this on hardwood or a gym floor even, you might want a pad. Just do it, add it. We're gonna get one more hip stretch. And then we'll change sides. We'll spend about a minute and a half over here. Also, heel your butt. I think I should turn so you can see. So one here. Oh, this one feels tighter than the other one. If you did Murph yesterday, or for those of you who didn't do Murph yesterday, Murph is a workout. You just run a mile. You do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and then you run another mile. And some people wear weight vests when they do it, and so they do all that in weight vests. And it's a thing we do. Roll that in. It's a thing we do every Memorial Day. It's like a Memorial Day workout. It's an old school, pretty famous CrossFit workout, but it got really, really big in gyms bigger than CrossFit gyms when that movie Lone Survivor came out with Mark Wahlberg. Because one of the, if you've seen it, one of the four SEALs in the movie was Lieutenant Michael Murphy, like a real person. So the workout was named after him because he passed away on that mission. And one person lived, Marcus Luttrell, who wrote a book about it. And then they made a movie out of the book. Let's go ahead and rest. We're gonna go back to that lunge. We're just gonna work on the calves here a little bit. So I'm just gonna relax this leg. And I'm gonna throw elbows down on the knee. And I'm just gonna work inside to outside, kind of working the Achilles, stretching the calves. So if you did do Murph yesterday, you're probably pretty sore. Probably tight lats, legs, quads are probably pretty sore, calves maybe a little bit sore from all the running. It's only 2 miles, but that second mile after 300 squats and a mile run, that second mile can be pretty gnarly. All right, switch sides. So I'm just adding in here, pressure down the knee, and then I'm working that ankle inside to out. This is probably one of those stretches I do just about every day, regardless of mobility flow. It's for the more Achilles and the actual structure of the ankle. A lot of people stretch their calves, which is fine. It's good. It's better than fine. It's good. But the calf is just the muscle that pulls on the Achilles that plantar flexes the foot. So it pushes your toe down to the ground, your foot down to the ground. And it's fine to stretch the belly of the calf and really loosen up the calves. That's a good thing to do. But a lot of times we want to make sure that the Achilles itself, the actual attachment point where it turns our muscle into the Achilles and it connects to the bone, that's loose too. You know, you don't hear too much of people, let's say, tearing a calf muscle, but you do hear of people tearing Achilles. And that's, you know, a pretty common thing. I don't mean that tearing your Achilles is common, but it's much more common to tear an Achilles, the actual connection from muscle to the bone, than it is to tear your calf, for example. So we want to make sure we're working the Achilles, which a lot of people don't do. They think that calf mobility or ankle mobility is really calf flexibility. Let's add that foot out in front, and we're just going to hit this hamstring. So one leg straight, I'm just kind of bent knee. I'm going to set my chest down towards it. There's a big stretch right there, even with a bent knee, but then I'm going to work it to straight. I'm just going to kind of work this hamstring open. So we kind of pair those things together. We just always think that flexibility is all about the muscles. Well, how do I stretch my pecs? How do I stretch my, quads? How do I stretch my glutes? When really, muscles are just like the mover. Think of it this way, like the car being stuck in a ditch and a tow truck coming to pull them out. Well, the tow truck does the work to pull the car out of the ditch, but it has to connect to that car somehow, and usually it will do it with a chain or something of the like. And that chain, if it breaks, it doesn't matter how strong the tow truck was, it won't get the car anywhere. The chain has to be strong. And that's kind of what we're looking at when it comes from like muscles to the actual attachment points. All right, let's change sides. So mobility and flexibility is more than just stretching the muscle. We got to work on the attachment points too. So chest down towards the knee. And I'm going to go until I can kind of find that stretch. So I can get the stretch here, and then I'm just going to work that knee. Last little stretch in, and let's pigeon it up. You know the drill. The glutes are big. We gotta work them. So we're thigh down, leg down, knee is just under 90 degrees. You could go a little wider, but I'm just under 90 degrees because I feel like it takes most of the pressure off my knee. I like to drop hip on the ground. You might like it up off the ground. Totally up to you. And then I'm just gonna try to turn my chest and then drop it down towards my knee. Not here, and just dropping down. I'm getting no stretch in this position because my hips, my torso isn't, so I want to rotate this way until that hip almost wants to come up off the ground, that back hip. And then I want to just lean forward. I'm also working this back leg here. I'm trying to actively rotate it in to square up my hips. I'm not just like passive here. Rotate it in. I'm working down towards that thigh. This is a good pigeon. Well, this is a good way to work the pigeon. I don't know that I'm the best pigeoner in the world. I'm no yogi. I don't really know anything about yoga. I've never taken a yoga class. I'm sorry if you're really into that kind of thing. Just never done it. Before I was actually fit, and I was like middle school, high school, P90 was a thing. My dad was really big into P90. Like before it was P90X, like the original P90. But then P90X came out and it was like, it went from 4 DVDs to being like 24 DVDs. All right, let's switch sides. So I'm here, thigh down, I'm rotating this foot in, torso turned, and then I'm leaning forward. And in the X edition, there were all these different types of workouts. Like in the original editions, it was like you had a cardio day and you had a strength day, and you kind of just went back and forth, cardio, strength. You just kind of piece back and forth for a month, and then you switch, and then there are like 6 DVDs in the whole thing. In the X edition, there were like back and chest and arms and legs and cardio and plyometrics and yoga, and you try to follow this routine. It just told you which DVD to do, but every time it got to the yoga DVD, every time in the 3 weeks that I pretended to do P90X. You get to yoga and be like, nah, I'm gonna take a rest day. It's just not my jam. Stretching is important. That's why I make videos about it. And I hope that you'll do them. And if you heard me say that, then you do them. But there's like hour-long yoga routines. That's why these are 10, 12, 15 minutes. 45 minutes. 45 or an hour minute. You guys know. 45 minutes or an hour is a long time for me to do some Hero 2 pose. But I'm not trying to make fun of it. I really don't know what it's called. Like there's like 2 different like warrior poses. But anyways, that is your daily mobility flow. We're gonna start off kind of smooth today and we'll build as the week goes on. I appreciate you guys being here. Make sure to click that like button. It's really helpful. And subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you tomorrow.